What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? This your boy, Luciferian Prince, coming at y'all once again. Well, here we go for another upload. As I said in my community post, these are uploads that was coming for today, February 6th, 2023. And this is the last one that I actually had scheduled for today. And this is very important and highly intrinsic information for those people who have been viewing me for quite some time. And for those who are new, please listen. First time viewing this channel, if you see my earlier videos and my earlier previous posts on videos, please like and subscribe. If you don't like what I have to say on my channel, I don't care. It is what it is. I'm still going to keep doing what I've been doing for the past 7.5 years. Well, 8 now, as a matter of fact. But neither here nor there. Let us proceed. If you're watching this video around children, I ask that you please remove them from your immediate vicinity because my videos are not for children. And yes, I do have a tendency to curse. I know some people be like, well, if you use certain language, you don't have a very colorful usage of the English language. Well, to be honest with you, I choose to say what I want, when I want. I'm grown. It is what it is. Simple as that. And again, I don't take myself too serious anyway. So with that being said, let us proceed with the topic of the video. Now, the topic of the video that I would like to discuss today, especially for some of the younger generation, as much as into the older, right? How to prepare adequate legal defense. We're going to call this part 1. For good reason, I'm not going to be able to squeeze all of this in one video. It's impossible. However, I'm just going to give a general overview on what that means. Now, this applies to every matter that goes before court. We're talking about from minor infractions to major. Now, when we get to the major, we're going to call those that red area, okay? Which means that these are crimes in and of itself that have basically harmed a person or property. If indeed this fits the criteria in which you are currently facing, I'm not saying it's impossible for you to get out of the situation. I'm just saying the likelihood of you getting out of that situation is very extreme. We have the green area, which is basically civil in and of itself. It's non-criminal. Civil is just that. Civil. Simple as that. Even though civil cases may go before a superior court, it doesn't matter. It is still a victimless crime. Even in cases where somebody may put a restraint on you like my ex did for no fucking reason, you know what I'm saying? Irrespective, it went before the superior court, but it was still civil. However, in and of itself, it was a fraudulent claim in and of itself, and I defended myself adequately with what I'm getting ready to tell you right now. The reason why you have to adequately defend yourself is because majority of the time, whenever you go before court, in any instance, an intent and the claim are brought together. Okay? Always remember that. So just because someone says you did something in court does not automatically grant you, the court, subject matter jurisdiction to that case, to that claim. Now, most people ask what subject matter jurisdiction? Exactly what it says it is. Now, if you have a Black's Law Dictionary, you can look this up. Subject matter jurisdiction in and of itself means just what it means. What is the matter of the subject? Okay? So someone says something on paper. The paper gets filed as an action. Even though they call it an action, it's a claim. A claim is just someone saying something happened. That doesn't mean it's legit. That doesn't mean it's solid. That doesn't mean it is based on anything intrinsically true. It's just a simple statement. Okay, so that's like the green area, like civil. Victimless crimes, claims, whatever. Someone saying you did something, your best bet is to actually rebut any claim that's placed against you. I don't care what you get in the mail or any type of service. Do not put your paperwork off. You must rebut that claim. If you don't rebut that claim within that period of time, from the time you actually receive the notice from the court or to the time you actually have to go before a court or whatever, you're going to fall into what is called dishonor. So basically, you fall into dishonor for failing to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. In legal terminology, is what they say. In layman's terms, this is what it is. You failed to contest the claims against you, so you consented by your silence to saying that what this person said is very true. You never allow a person to do that. I don't care if it's a police officer. I don't care if it's a significant other. I don't give a fuck who it is, to be honest with you. Anyone that goes against you before a court is your fucking mortal enemy, period. I don't care. I don't care if it's your own family member. I don't even give a fuck if it's your own mama. Okay? Anyone who goes to court before you to go put a claim against you is your mortal enemy. So when you get those traffic tickets, I don't give a fuck how polite police officers are. I don't care. They are your mortal enemy. What do I mean? They are now becoming your adversary because when they go before that tribunal, they go before these individuals, they're not your friend. They are after a benefit. They are after a revenue-raising venture. Anyone that goes before court is after something. And you better be the individual to make sure that you are protected. This is why I stress and emphasize why you should be a secured party creditor. Because the beautiful thing is, once your case is actually determined out, worked out in your favor, you can actually place a lien against anyone who puts a false claim against you in court. And yes, I had already done it to the person who actually put me before court. So just don't be surprised if your credit score is actually fucked up. Anyway, neither here nor there. And that's not being nefarious, that's being real. Have no mercy before people who take you before a tribunal. Adequate legal defense. Become secured in all your paperwork and all your transactions in regards to anything, and don't put anything off. Courts are fictitious entities. Simple as that. They base their claims upon bullshit stories, and no matter what, anytime you go before a court, you have to realize that majority of the time, the prosecution is the individual who has the interest in the case. It is never the judge. The judge is going to get paid whether the case wins or loses anyway. Whether the case gets dismissed, it's still based on salary or a couple other numbnuts that's going to come behind you in regards to their court cases. Doesn't matter. They're going to get paid anyway. Doesn't matter. Your adversary is the person who brought the claim and the prosecution. Simple as that. Now, why is it important to have adequate legal defense, you might be asking? Because in and of itself, it is a game. It is a financial game that is rigged against you because they know that the average individual is not competent enough to actually interpret law for what it is. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, these people who continuously, in and of itself, marginalize the vast majority of people who come before them, you're not a person as a natural sense. You're a corporation. You're fiction. You're a figment of their imagination. It's a game to them. It's a job to them, but it's your life. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people have gone to different channels and different avenues of interpretation on legal defenses or whatever. Let me tell you something. It's going to take a lot of study. It's going to take a lot of study. I'm not minimizing. It's going to take a lot of study. So this path that I'm telling you about of securing the adequate legal defense is not for lazy people. Not to mention, you have to be computer literate, because if you're not, you're going to fuck up, because everything that they do in court, irrespective of what their profession may be, it's all professional. It's a business environment. So you have to be just that professional, if not more, in order for you to get your point across. Okay? Third, you have to have a stalwart defense. In other words, it has to be ironclad. In other words, they can't poke no holes in it. They can't deny it, which is services that I do offer. And yes, I'm going to tell you people, it ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's not, because freedom ain't free. So fuck what you heard. Fuck what you heard. A lot of people on these channels, they will sit there and bullshit you. But I'm telling you right now, from my experience of what I've used over the years, you're talking to a man who done stared 20 years down the face, and I left that jail within 6 months. Well, 5 to be exact. You know what I'm saying? Because I had an ironclad defense. I did not hire an attorney. I had all my documentation prepared before that time even came. That's why I tell people, when you have time on the street and you've been browsing my channel for years, it should be no reason why it's 2023 and you still contact me about starting your first initial step. Ain't no fucking way. And I've been doing this since 2017. So, you know, there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is put your mind to it, knock it out, get it straight, and put it on the back burner for just in case if shit happens. A lot of people pretend like this is not a commercial world. It is. And you got to have an adequate defense for whatever you're dealing with, because everything you do is business related. I don't give a fuck if it's a civil or criminal situation. It's all business, people. It's business. It's contractual. The only thing that you have to realize is not getting sucked into that contract. Don't sign shit and don't hire no fucking attorney. I said it. Don't hire no fucking lawyer. Now, a lot of people, if you want to, you can. That is your choice. I'm not saying don't. But if you're on my channel, you've been here long enough, you know why I say don't hire lawyers. If you want to hire one, go right ahead. Cut my video off, because this ain't for you. This is for sovereigns only. Okay? Sovereigns, people who take care of their own commercial business in their own capacity and don't give a fuck what nobody had to say about it, whether the court system agrees with it or not. It don't matter. The one thing that's supreme in commerce, lastly, is truth. The only individual who can provide truth that is necessary to adequately provide sufficient evidence to have a case determined in their favor is you. Hence the term, the right to remain. It's not the right to remain silent. It's just that you can provide firsthand evidence that otherwise allow them to make a determination so they can draw and draft up a bill and turn the liability on you and make you pay for it with your natural self. That's the game, people. And it's fucking rigged, all right? So if you don't have adequate knowledge and adequate legal defense, I'm telling you right now, 99.9% of the time you go in front of them tribunals, you're going to fucking lose, okay? A lot of people don't want to stand up for themselves. Yes, court environments are very intimidating. Yes, they are based upon a system of force. Force and law are one and of the same. Okay? That's why they call it law enforcement, because they propose a law and then they have to have the force to back it up. Other than that, it wouldn't work. See what I'm saying? So you have to push back with just that amount of force. Am I saying go at war with government physically? No. You must go to war with them intellectually. Okay? That is the only way you're going to win. See, on that other notion, it's not going to work. You know, it's not. Intellectual. So secure your intellectual property. Make sure you're a secure party creditor. Have your documentation lined up. So when it's time to go before these individuals, you have an adequate legal defense that's ironclad and they can't poke holes in it. The only thing they can do is deny it, which in and of itself is cool, fine, great, fantastic, because they want to keep their scheme going. All right? Simple as that. It is what it is. Hold on. A lot of people who might doubt me, I'm sure they're going to doubt me regardless, but I'll read this for you in closing. Before we proceed, for people, the naysayers come in the comment section and think that I'm just talking out the side of my neck, let me read something. I probably read it before in your face, and I'm going to read it again. So you will not be led down the rabbit hole without having adequate information. Now, this is your call to actually wake up and get on your shit. Okay? Simple like this. Attributed to, if not his, appropriate Edward Mandell House, sent by the powers that rule democracy, commercial government form England, work with and control all the presidents from Woodrow Wilson through Franklin Delano Roosevelt in establishing that all the American people are reaping by slavery. Had this private meeting with Woodrow Wilson, 1913 to 1921, that's his presidency, and stated, very soon, every American will be required to register their biological property in a national system designed to keep track of the people, and that will operate under the ancient system of pledging. By such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our fiat paper currency. Every American will be forced to register or suffer being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the security interests over them forever. By operation of the law merchant, court, under the scheme of secure transactions, which is court cases. Americans unknowingly or unwittingly delivering the bills of lading to us will be rendered bankrupt and insolvent, even though the United States Corporation is. Forever to remain economic slaves to taxation, secured by their pledges, which is 1040s. They would be stripped of their rights and given a commercial value designed to make us a profit, and they will be none the wiser, for not one man in a million could ever figure our plans, and if by accident one or two should figure it out, we have in our arsenal plausible deniability. In other words, they're going to act like what you're saying isn't real. After all, this is the only logical way to fund government, by floating liens and debt to the registrants in the form of benefits and privileges. This would inevitably reap to us huge benefits and profits beyond our wildest expectations, and will leave every American a contributor to this fraud, which we will call social insurance. Without realizing it, every American will insure us for any loss we may incur, and in this manner, every American will unknowingly be our servant. However, begrudgingly, the people will become helpless and without any hope for their redemption, and we will employ the high office of the president of our dummy corporation to foment this plot against America. So, if you doubt, so be. But sovereign people, you live in a natural capacity. Simple. So, if you dwell in a natural capacity, why play a fictitious legal game? Why not establish in and of itself, why not establish in and of itself a healthy rapport with your creator? See, the thing about it is a lot of people, they want to live by fiction, right? But if you're a natural, sovereign born, flesh and blood man or woman, sentient, why would you obligate yourself to anything less than what truth is? Because irrespective of what you believe, contracts can fuck up your existence. If indeed you go by that system, that you go by the fiction, you got to go by what's the law, the truth leads to light. And you just learned a very significant truth in less than 16 minutes. Adequate legal defense means you are properly displaying truth in a competent authority and mannerism and full-fledged knowledge of the truth and the competency in which it's executed to keep your natural self out of liability. That's all you're doing. No conspiracies involved. You are just keeping your natural self out of the way of liability. Okay? Simple as that. The more debt you incur, the more liability you incur, the worse your existence gets. The less liability you incur by reducing the debt and becoming a secure party creditor and minimizing the contractual obligations that will place your natural self in harm's way is the truth. That's what you need to practice. Simple as that. If you need further information, please request it via email, and you leave a phone number which I can contact you. And I tell people all the time, don't waste my fucking time. I don't know why I cannot stress this more enough, and I've said it time and time again. Do not waste my time. If you do not get an email back from me, you know why. Simple as that. It's 2023. I said it for the past year. I'm not doing it again. It's the last time I'm going to say it. Simple as that. Don't waste my time. I won't waste yours. Simple as that. Okay? Capiche? Part 1, Part 2 coming up later tomorrow. Stay tuned. Peace, light, love. Take care. Talk to y'all soon. Agents, fuck you.